Hey, I can see you.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
You. Yep.
That's good. I'm just going to see that this is broadcasting now. Bear with me.
Sure. Steve Delby, internet warrior.
I like his comment. User sessions is a guide to the mental processes that are being applied to the content owner's life.
What's up? What did he reply? Did he comment on it? Did he? Did you see that there was a? You see, we put up a story by Drew yesterday about a company that went off Azure because it didn't support Exchange.
Yeah.
And all the wingbats went in there, like standard
And
Microsoft wingbats went in there, and they're all like, "Oh, you're all retarded. You can do this. This is the." Anyway, the guy who was the subject of the article then created an account and went in and started arguing with them.
Nice. I advocate more of that. That is great.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm getting you. That's good. I can't see it broadcasting at the moment, but I might have a small delay. So I think thanks for doing that. I think you can duck off now, and we'll go from here.
All right.
Thank you.
Later.
Ah, hello? Hello? Jean-Marc, do you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Jean-Marc, how are you?
Hello?
Hello, do you hear me, Jean-Marc?
Uh, okay. I seem to be experiencing some difficulties on my notebook. I've been trying to connect not adequate.
Right.
Hello?
Hello, Jean-Marc, do you hear me at all?
Hello?
Hello, Jean-Marc. Angus here. Do you hear me?
It's extremely weak. Okay. I've just mentioned I'm experiencing difficulties connecting on my notebook
Yes.
to the network. I've just managed to connect using my smartphone,
Right.
but it's extremely the sound is extremely weak,
Yes.
and obviously the quality of network will not be the same, given that I'm on 3G and not on landline.
Yes.
I don't know whether there is anything that I need to check in terms of firewall settings or what here.
Yes. Do you want to take some time to do that? And I can make the interview shorter if it's easier for you to spend just 10 minutes looking at your settings and.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah. So Jean-Marc, I realize you have a busy day. So if you want to take 10 minutes to check your settings on your laptop and maybe try again or reboot and try again if possible. And I can make the interview quite short if you have a meeting coming up at 12 o'clock.
No. I'm okay after even after 12. I'm okay, Angus. No worry.
Mm.
Can I come back to you? I'm going to check with my infra people.
I'll send you an email. I'll send an email just with a couple of suggestions.
I'll send you an email.
Hey. Okay, cool. I've got time. It's all recording, but he's got pops on his end. So. Yeah, catch it. Yeah. Hey, do you just want to do grab the stakes or whatever? Yeah, if you don't mind. Yeah, I'll pay for whatever. Yeah. Well, booking's going on. Alright, no worries. Yeah, that's cool. And just let you know, yeah, question is, I've got the final figures from Oscar probably down. I can get Kenny to do those up for me? Right now? Isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got them, but I'm not downloading them now because I've got them fuck up.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you.
Sorry, I was actually thinking of people that you. Yeah, you probably
Okay.
better.
Cheers. Have a good time. See ya. Jean-Marc, it's Angus here. How are you? Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. So what do you want me to do? I can stay here for at least another hour and a half if necessary, but I know that you've got a tight schedule. So shall I just wait? Sure. Yes. Yes. Yep. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so I'll keep the Hangout open as it is, and I'll just wait to hear from you. And yeah, that's great. Thanks for that. I'm sorry about the hassles for you. Talk soon. Yeah. Talk soon. Thanks, Jean-Marc.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hi Angus.
Hey.
Okay, I can see you, but I think you cannot see me
Not yet. No.
because I've got. Okay, hold on. I know why. Uh, all right. Okay. It's because I shifted from Windows to Mac, and I forgot to disengage my device. Hold on.
Right.
Pop, 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 pop. And that's a problem when you're on a dual boot. Ah, How does it look like?
I can't see you. I can hear you.
Are you able to see me?
I can't see you at the moment.
You can't or you can?
No, cannot.
Okay. Because
Is your
now my
camera,
camera is
is your camera
validated
on?
and I can. Sorry, my camera is activated and I can see myself now. Okay, let me start again. Perhaps I need to start again.
Thank you.
Ah.
Now I can see you.
But I haven't tried yet on network. Okay, Angus, I've got some news. Apparently, the firewall port was blocked for Hangout. So my colleague here is going to release the port. I just need a few minutes, and after that I can try again on landline. Okay, just give me a second.
Sounds great.
So how do I find my?
Thank you.
I will cut the connection for now.
Yep. Yep, last one. Hey.
How does it look?
Yeah.
How does it sound? How does it sound?
It's not bad. A little bit echoey, but not bad.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you well. There's at times there's just a little bit of lag, but I guess it depends whether we want to crisscross conversation. If we don't do that, I suppose it should be fine.
Yes, I think so. And also, Jean-Marc, I can download this video and we can edit a little bit. So if there are pieces that are really bad quality, we can take out.
Okay, cool.
Okay, fantastic. So I'm really conscious of your time. Have you got 20 minutes?
I think we should be okay. How is the setting from my end? You're okay with the setting, the positioning, everything?
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good.
Okay.
So shall we start?
All right. I think should be fine. Are we only the two of us, or anybody else?
Just the two of us, and obviously because of the lag, I think if we don't move around too much, it's better.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So.
Okay, please carry on, Angus.
Okay, and don't as before. We can do something. We can repeat if something doesn't come out correct. But last time you were very articulate, so I'm sure we can get through this quickly. So today's ZDNet Cloud TV is talking with Jean-Marc Henaff, CIO of fast-growing direct insurance business DirectAsia.com. Bonjour, Jean-Marc.
Bonjour, Angus. How are you doing over there?
We're doing well here in Sydney. Jean-Marc, it's... sorry, I forgot what I was going to say next. Yeah, so yes, so for our international audience at ZDNet, who might not know DirectAsia.com, would you perhaps give a very brief summary of the business?
Oh, sure. Well, we started business in 2010 in Singapore first. We are a direct insurer, selling basically non-life and recently a term life product, only to direct channels, basically to our call center, our web portal, as well as our working customer center. Today we are present in Singapore, Hong Kong, and Thailand, which was launched last year.
Fantastic. And Jean-Marc, today we're going to talk about cloud, but I thought also I'd give some context to the audience about DirectAsia.com and how important IT is to the business. And your business was recently acquired. And at that time, your CEO, or your founder, in fact, said the following, and correct me when I'm wrong, but he said, we set to work on building from scratch a company with world-class service processes, segmentation, and IT that would outdo the old incumbents who were dependent on legacy systems and traditional processes. So that's a pretty strong statement about the importance of IT to DirectAsia.com. And I'd like to ask you about cloud in that context.
Sure. Yes, please, Angus.
Yeah. I hope I didn't surprise you by adding that. We'll cut this bit out. But of course, I only recently saw that you had been acquired by Hiscox. So that's obviously very interesting. Yes.
We actually came through the transaction at the end of the Q1 of this year.
Yeah.
Hiscox is now our parent company.
Yes.
A very significant group in the UK, and interestingly enough, we are their first outfit in Asia, also their first acquisition. They have an history of organic growth and expansion in markets in Europe and the States. It's a very good fit,
Yes.
Very good fit in terms of products, in terms of business model. So we are very comfortable and confident for the future.
Yeah, no, it's exciting times, obviously, and it gives the business a lot of strength to go forward. So anyway, let's jump into the cloud, and I'd like to get a sense from you, Jean-Marc, about, what are you doing with cloud currently with DirectAsia.com, and what are your plans for the future with cloud?
Sure. At the moment, we are already using some bits of cloud services in part. It's mostly for non-critical activities, essentially for backup purpose. We have designed our email platform recovery to sit on the public cloud offering of trusted security vendor, and so far so good. But for critical business activity, it's a different story. Earlier this year, we have selected a new host for our co-location needs, basically our own DA private cloud, and we are in the midst of fully virtualizing our infrastructure to reduce our footprint. Estimation is that we are going to be able to do so by about 25% of both energy consumption saving and footprint reduction. So this is private perimeter that serves our core business application needs. But the interesting bit in selecting that new partner was that we are able to ride on their cloud offering to experiment. And essentially, we intend to do so by using their infrastructure as a service and/or platform as a service offering to mount our core applications and to try on the development and the QA basis. The whole idea here would be to try and test the elasticity and resilience of our applications, as well as performance and security. Because basically our approach for core business processing on cloud is still very experimental. And we can only really consider cloudifying the organization when we have ensured that the application can perform fully secured and have demonstrated proper elasticity and resilience under cloud test labs. So for this, what we are going to do is obviously partner with our core system vendors to compare the findings and validate our approach, essentially.
Okay, very interesting. So if I understand that then, so it's a infrastructure as a service offering, but from your data center partner, is that correct, or did I misunderstand?
Yes, it's actually one of the primary telco in Singapore.
Okay, okay, very interesting. And, you know, obviously, I think we talked about a year ago, Jean-Marc, and you mentioned quite a few challenges with regards to regulatory restrictions on cloud in Singapore, particularly, and Asia. I mean, what is the current scenario with financial services businesses moving to the cloud in Asia? What are you seeing out there?
All right. I would say that at the moment, cloud adoption in Asia and Singapore specifically still remains relatively low. Well, traditionally, anyway, financial services organizations have traded on the cautious side with regards to ensuring compliance with regulatory framework and specifically data protection regulation. And so far, cloud, whether we talk about public or sometimes even hybrid, has kept its level of mystery when it comes to what we can do or what we can't in respect of data protection, especially. So I think that's the reason why the adoption rate is still a bit sluggish. However, the Infocom Development Authority, IDA in Singapore, is placing a lot of efforts in trying to clarifying what is possible and what is desirable to offer on the cloud platform. In their latest cloud computing in Singapore report, they are actually highlighting that there is a much faster adoption rate for the past 1 to 2 years, and that we are looking at a potential adoption rate of 33% by 2015. They are doing a lot to promote the establishment of, if you wish, a cloud ecosystem in Singapore by putting together or by helping to put together the right partners, be it from the telco perspective with their grid that would obviously provide the right infrastructure, network infrastructure, but also more with regards to computing technologies, network and security providers, so as to put in place all the layers that would offer infrastructure as a service, platform as a service to organization. And so far, it shows in some case studies that they are putting in their report. For example, highlighting that a certain number of organizations are taking up services such as email, corporate emails, sort of service on the cloud, but also some HR activities. So there is a take-up rate, but for commercial trading, especially in the financial industry, I think it's a bit too early to tell.
Yes. And obviously, there are some significant, regulatory challenges that we've talked about before, with the Monetary Authority of Singapore having quite strong stipulations about what businesses can and can't do with private data. Jean-Marc, what is your feeling? Are there some solutions around that? I was thinking of more like hybrid cloud offerings, where you could have some non-identifiable data in the cloud, let's say, and are these some possibilities?
Well, if you talk about cloud challenges, I mean, the first one is again data protection and data protection. We also know that there are a new regulatory framework coming in place, especially this July 2014 in Singapore with the Personal Data Protection Act, PDPA. In Hong Kong, if I want to expand a little bit further, they also have the Personal Data Ordinance for more than a year now. So essentially, personal data protection is very key to cloud enablement in the financial industry. If you look back in decades, organizations have been spending heaps in building defenses in their private environment. I would even say fences, concentric layers of fences, perimeter fences. But when you talk about cloud, basically the perimeter notion is a bit like becomes cloudy. Obviously, you do not have the right notion of what the perimeter is. So the notion of building fences becomes a little bit irrelevant. So the data protection and the data protection resolution becomes the main issue. So here, I think the focus must shift on enabling data intelligence. What I mean by data intelligence is turning the data into a piece of inalterable object of truth, meaning that, in short, fingerprinting your data so as to ensure that only legitimate application, beholders or custodian can access to it and use it. Actually, there are already some technologies on the way to enable such keyless signature, and I think promoting such technology to the right level of regulatory understanding would be the key in the future to lifting the barriers of massive cloud adoption, basically.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. So what you're talking about, if I understand, is going way beyond encryption towards some sort of personal authentication, very strong authentication, matching each person to their data.
You have to remove the key in such a case and sort of fingerprint the data so that it basically recognizes where it has to be used.
Interesting, very interesting. And just moving on from compliance challenges in the market in Singapore specifically, what about some challenges for you as a business that's in Hong Kong and Thailand? In terms of trying to move to the cloud, are there some issues with regards to variable networking capabilities in those different economies?
Oh, well, to me, again, it all depends how the market reacts to its own framework. Obviously, Singapore and Hong Kong have seen very stringent and inefficient regulatory framework coming their way in the past few years. I think it's very healthy for a mature market, and organizations in these places have had to adapt to it and basically adapt their processes, their security and their own data governance in the organization to ensure compliance. In less developed markets, obviously, organizations could believe that they are having a freer hand to use data, but typically, especially in places like Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, their own local regulators are looking up to what happens in places like Singapore, Hong Kong, and obviously westward as well. So in no time, proper regulatory framework will be put in place in these countries, and organizations who would not be ready to face the challenge would very likely exit the market. So I don't think that it's a challenge that we need to be worried about.
Okay, interesting. And just thinking, outside financial services particularly, but thinking about Singapore, that's a very fast-growing economy right now. There's a lot of new people. I think the population has increased greatly recently, and there seems to be a buzz in Singapore. What about with cloud? Are there a lot of is cloud helping small businesses to get a toehold in the market? Giving them an opportunity to start up with low investment thresholds and stuff. Are you seeing that happening?
Indeed, indeed. As I was mentioning earlier on, the IDA in Singapore has been really pushing for cloud adoption through the implementation or through the enablement of an ecosystem in the market that offers essentially infrastructure as a service, software as a service, platform as a service, and quite a number of organizations can now reap the benefits of those services as long as they are not commercial trading, especially with personal data type of application. But it definitely helps startups to have a framework and a capacity to immediately go on.
Interesting. Jean-Marc, look, this has been fantastic. I really appreciate your time. I've got one further question I would like to ask you, which is this. I understand from our email exchanges earlier that you've been losing sleep to watch the France soccer team play in the Soccer World Cup. So how far do you think France can go, and who's going to win the World Cup?
All the way, my friend, all the way.
Vive la France. Okay, Jean-Marc, that's the end of my questions. I'm sorry that it was difficult for us to get organized now, and I hope it hasn't upset your schedule too much.
No. I don't know how it came through. I mean, basically, what do you think?
Yeah, it was a little bit bursty at times, so sometimes it slowed right down, but mostly towards the end it was pretty good. So I think I might use more from the end than the start, but I'll easily get about 5 to 8 minutes of video out of this, and I think it will be valuable. So I'll of course send you a link once we have it ready to publish, which will be on Monday. And I'll do my best to make sure that we stick a link in back to your site to keep your marketing director happy as well.
That'd be fantastic.
Okay. Jean-Marc, I'll let you go now. Really lovely to talk with you. I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to get up and deliver on my promise to buy you dinner in Singapore, but I will do that sometime in the next 2 or 3 months, hopefully.
No worries. Anytime you can come to Singapore, you're welcome.
I'll look forward to it. You take care. Have a lovely weekend.
Same to you. Cheers.
Bye-bye. Thanks.